Good morning, everybody. Yes, Venus has gone retrograde today, so I'm down to town, reflected over the weekend with the Knights Around the Table. It was great. It was only a small mixed meeting, male and female, and that was fantastic because the younger guys are just really getting it, and there was a lot of conversation talked about and a lot of clearing. I even had stuff to learn about my past teachings and how accelerated time seems to be moving now. And I've just got to I had to come back and change things because my ways of teaching, they're outgrown. So please be aware of the changes that are happening. And I just went to the South Australian, the Indigenous Writers Club, Aboriginal Writers Club. It was on a Zoom meeting last night, and it was only for an hour, so by the time they went through funding and whatever, I didn't get a chance. But what I was going to do, because there's so much information in ITV about this beautiful land and our traditional values and people that have been in communities. I've written 2 books, but mine's basically on spiritual connection. So I think I can move ahead a bit now, and I'm looking at humanity. My polarities of the triangle is basically physical. We have to look after our physical, humanity, and then up the top is sacredness. Okay, so I'll just read you a little bit, well, what I was going to read out at the Writers Club last night, just to let you know what I've actually reflected on and what I've come back and what I'll be doing, okay? So it's page 34 on Soul of Woman, Embraces Heart of Man. And that's why I was pleased there was men at this group, because we need to walk side by side. There's relationships coming out now that are pairing people off, so that we have partners to move forward in this really intense part of history. Okay, so I'll just read this. My aim is to show that justice can prevail at this time, which shows the polarities of both cultures and why one dominant ethos can't completely overtake another without repercussions. A balanced outcome needs to be looked at, as explained, and there's a website here, Aboriginal Rights. So if you get my book, you can check all this information out. But I'll just read you what has been stated in that website. It's intellectual biomimicry. It allows people to develop and draw upon nature-based metaphors for deeper understanding. That's why our land is, and this valuable land is very sacred to us. And the more that it's dug up, the more traumas that are going to be out there for people who have accepted that ideology. As well as using ecosystem-like webs of knowing, a way of thinking that was rejected in Western modernism and replaced by synthetic chains of reasoning. Indigenous webs of logic mirror complex, natural patterns and are suited to solving new millennium problems of sustainability. United Nations IK systems and journey maps for company visioning process. Okay, so through that, over the last couple of days, I've gone back over my previous workshops. 21 years ago, can you believe that? This was a workshop that I developed. There was 3, again, I usually stick to the Trinity, 3 modules. Now this one, now I'm calling it New Blood, New Law. And the reason for that is new law is look at how the law system's changing. The social media is challenging, and the journalists are being challenged. So there needs to be change. Okay, so that's new law, and new blood is about our new vision of multiculturalism, headed by traditional values that I've actually written about and tried to put in a more complex system. So just to explain simply, it's a little bit hard to go into, that's why workshops are valuable, and I'll be looking probably within a couple of months. I'll just retreating for a couple of months to put this out there so that we can do it in Zoom meetings, so that communities we can work with community leaders and our people out there to get a fair system for all Australians. So just basically, this is the first workshop was about one person for forgiveness, 2 people for reconciliation, and 3 and more for assimilation. That's the basis. Underneath is the subjective, and above the will and the soul, now I'll be talking about that, is the objective. And basically, that's what I'm on about. So that's all I've got to say today, and I'm really looking forward to the challenges and the changes, and let's meet it with positiveness. We need strength, courage and resilience, which our traditional people had, and we also need compassion. From compassion comes wisdom and trust. We need to get trust back again. So thanks for listening, and this will be on my blog and on Facebook. That's all I'm actually got time for now. So anybody who's trying to get in touch or whatever, please just go there, because I can't individually get people on or whatever. So I'm just putting it out there because that takes too much of my time, because a lot of this now is meditating and having silence so that I can actually work on information coming through. Okay, so thank you, and all have a nice day, and bye. See you later.